Alright, so if you recently purchased some Supacolor transfers, you know that they come with some instructions down here on the label. So it's gonna say press temp 290 to 320, press time 10 to 15 seconds, pressure 40 psi, firm. Now what exactly is firm pressure? Most of you have a clamshell press just like me, and we have to adjust our pressure manually by the knob on top, just like this right here. So let me walk you through exactly what I do to find the correct pressure setting for my Supacolor transfers, and hopefully this helps you guys out. All right, first off, if you have a manual press just like me, we adjust our pressure by this knob. What I like to do is I like to max this knob all the way out so I can't get a complete press without this thing popping back up. So what I do is I'll back this off a half turn, try it again, back it off another half turn. Now I have a complete solid press. All right, so that's how I find the heaviest pressure possible for my press. Now, do you have to press Supacolor transfers at a super heavy pressure? You actually don't. For myself, I press it pretty heavy and it's worked for me, but I know that there's been a few people that's backed it off of their heaviest pressure, like maybe a full turn off of their heaviest and then pressed it down, and they've had great success with that also. What you have to remember is when you have a manual press like ours, these ones that have the knob to adjust the pressure, everybody's pressure setting is gonna be a lot different because we can't dial it in with numbers. We can't just punch in 40 psi and then the pneumatic press automatically presses 40 psi onto that shirt. We don't have that luxury by having these manual presses, so you have to fine tune the pressure that works best for you. So it works for me to press at my heaviest pressure at 320 for 15 seconds at the heaviest pressure. Right when it pops up, I pull the drawer out and then peel the backing off right away. So for myself, that's where I find great success. For some others, they have to back it off another turn, maybe a turn and a half, and then press, and then they find that works for them. So one other tip that I'll throw in here is if you've had this problem, and I've had this issue myself, and that's when you press it down, you lift up the press, and then when you lift up the press, the backing is stuck to the top of the press. It's not the transfer, it's not your heat press. All that is the static in wherever you're pressing. So when the press comes up and the backing is stuck to the top of the press, it's static that's holding it to the back of the press. Now, how do you stop that? Use a Teflon sheet. You don't have to put on this fancy little cover with the clips and all that. If you just wanted to lay down the Teflon sheet over it, that will eliminate that issue. I've had that issue before, and there's been a lot of people in my comments saying they had the same problem. It might be the humidity in the air, it might be a lot of different things, but all that is just the static holding the backing to the top of the platen. All you have to do is take a Teflon sheet, put that over. You could also adjust your heat if you needed to, so instead of pressing at 320 and you're using a Teflon sheet, you could press at 321 because that Teflon sheet might act as a little barrier and it might fluctuate the heat a little bit. So if you feel more comfortable, test it out at 321 with the Teflon sheet. I still press 320 15 seconds with the Teflon sheet, and I've had no issues whatsoever. All right.